Hello everyone. Hope you all doing well and welcome back to our Windows Server 2022 beginners video series on MSFT webcast. In this video, we will see the steps on how to install and configure remote desktop services in Windows Server 2022. When setting up RDS, you have the option of running the 3 core roles on a single server or separating each role onto its own server. If you are setting up RDS for a test lab or a small environment, an all-in-one setup would be best for you. This is known as a RDS Quick Start Deployment. If your environment is large, you will want to separate these roles to spread the resources across multiple servers. No matter which setup you choose, they both can scale outward depending on user growth. Let's understand the test lab we will use in this video. We have single domain Active Directory forest named msftwebcast.com. This is a Windows Server 2022 domain controller named SRT22-DC01. This VM is our Windows Server 2022 member server that has been joined to our Active Directory domain. On this server, we are going to install and configure remote desktop services. Open Server Manager, click on Manage and select Add Roles and Features. Click Next on Before You Begin page. Avoid adding RDS roles through the Roles and Features wizard. Otherwise, you will need to configure RDS using Windows PowerShell. On Select Installation Type page, select Remote Desktop Services Installation and click Next. There are 2 ways of installing remote desktop services in Windows Server 2022. They are Quick Start and Standard Deployment. In Quick Start option, 3 of the required RDS services are installed on single server. Those 3 core services are RD Session Host, RD Connection Broker, and RD Web Access. Choose Quick Start as deployment type and click Next. RDS deployment scenario can also be either virtual machine based or session based. We will choose session based desktop deployment as this is a common remote app and desktop session model that is commonly used in more traditional RDS deployments. Click Next. Since we did the Quick Start selection, the Connection Broker, Web Access, and Session Host roles will be installed on the single server. Make sure Local Server is selected. Click Next. Choose Restart the destination server automatically if required and click on Deploy to start the installation. We can see the message, the remote desktop services deployment scenario is being installed. Step 1. RDS service installation. Step 2. Creating session collection. And Step 3 is publishing remote app programs. Installation process will take some time to finish. Once RDS service is installed successfully, a server will restart automatically. After restart, sign in with domain administrator's username and password. As you can notice, this time I have to manually enter the username of our administrator. After installation of RDS services, now the configuration is going on. This will take few seconds to completely configure RDS services on our member server. Step 1 is completed. In the second step, it is creating the session collection. And the third step is publishing remote app programs on our RD Web Access server. All 3 steps has been completed successfully. Click on Close to close the wizard. We can access remote desktop services through Server Manager. Click on Remote Desktop Services. When we choose Quick Deployment Type, collection with the name Quick Session Collection and Remote App Programs are already configured. Click on Quick Session Collection. By default, a Quick Session Collection contains Calculator, WordPad, and Paint as remote apps. This can be used to test the RDP deployment. Next, we need RD licensing server. For this video, we are going to use a domain controller as a RD licensing server. To easily install that role, we can add server to the server manager. Go to Dashboard and click on Add Other Servers to Manage link. Click on Find Now. Select our domain controller SRT22-DC01 and then click OK. The server is added successfully in Server Manager dashboard. Click on All Servers. We can confirm that now we have 2 servers. Click on Remote Desktop Services. As you can see, the deployment is missing a RD Gateway server and a RD licensing server. We don't need RD Gateway server at the moment, but we need RD licensing server. Click the Add RD Licensing Server green button. The Add RD Licensing Server screen will let you add the secondary server as a target for the RD licensing role. Select Server from the list and click Next. Click on Add to install the role on the selected server. Remember, this time we are installing RD Licensing Server role on remote server. Wait until the role service is deployed. Once the installation is complete, exit the wizard by clicking on Close. In our RDS deployment, the license manager is now available and we can see that it is installed on the SRT22-DC01 server. Now we need to configure the license mode. The license mode will depend on the type of CAL you have. Click on Task and select Edit Deployment Properties. Click on RD Licensing. We can see that the server was added automatically in the available license servers. We can select per user CAL or per device CAL. Again, this is totally depend on the type of CAL you have. For this example, we will select per user client access license. Click on Apply and OK to validate the configuration. Let's go to our domain controller VM to test RDS deployment. If you have client computer, you can use that. Open Run menu, type mstsc and hit Enter key. Type FQDN or IP address of RDS server. In our case, it is going to be srt22-srv01.msftwebcast.com. Now click on Connect. Click on More Choices and click on Use a different account. Enter the username, which is user1@msftwebcast.com. Enter user's password and click on OK. First time, it will take a few seconds to connect to our RDS server securely. Let's wait while the secure connection is being established between RDS server and this computer. Our user has successfully remotely logged in to our RDS server. To verify that, open Run menu, type cmd and hit Enter key. Type command host name and hit Enter key. Confirm we are on RDS server SRT22-SRV01. Type command netstate-n and hit Enter key. We can see the active connection with our RDS server on TCP port 3389. Go back to our RDS server. Open Task Manager. Click on More Details and go to Users tab. Verify that 2 users are connected to this server, Administrator and User1. Go back to Domain Controller VM. Type log off and hit Enter key to sign out from the current session. Now let's test remote desktop web access. Open Microsoft Edge web browser. Type URL https://srt22-srv01.msftwebcast.com/rdweb and hit Enter key. We are receiving an error. let's try to access remote desktop web access on our RDS server itself. Open Microsoft Edge web browser. Type URL https://localhost/rdweb and hit enter key to access remote desktop web access. Same as our domain controller, we can see the error can't reach this page, error SSL key usage incompatible. In Windows Server 2022 RDS Quick Deployment, the remote web access will not work with the default self-signed certificate. You have to change the existing self-signed certificate in order to fix this issue. That we will see in the next video. That's all for this video on how to deploy RDS services using quick deployment in Windows Server 2022. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions and suggestions regarding this video, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you all for watching this video. Have a nice day.